Hello, friends, my internet and Facebook friends, but also internet friends. Thanks for being here with me today on this live. I know it's late. 5:55. Had a big long day. Got a lot of really cool stuff done. But I wanted to jump on here really quick based on something that happened yesterday that I thought was a stroke of genius. And just wanted to talk about it real quick. So we'll jump. Welcome back. I guess I have to be. I have to be closer to the mic apparently. So I apologize that this is getting in the way of the beautiful sunset. But hey, it's life, right? So anyhow, Aaron Stewart from the Little Black Couch. Thanks for joining me today. I need to mute that one. I don't know. The built-in microphone was working. So anyway, thanks for joining me today on the Little Black Couch. So something pretty cool happened yesterday. Yeah, I don't understand how those birds can do that either. Thanks for pointing that out. But yeah, they're just kind of there suspended. So, hey. So yeah, some really cool stuff happened yesterday that I thought was really brilliant. It happened at a different company. And so I'm going to bring, it was, thanks buddy. So Buddy and I have been talking about this, and what they did was it was showmanship. It was marketing at its finest. It was simply brilliant what they've done. And so I'm talking about a big announcement from ClickFunnels yesterday, and I do use ClickFunnels. I've been a ClickFunnels user for quite some time, and I've been fascinated with, as an entrepreneur myself, I don't believe in venture capital. I think venture capitalists are, let's see, I'm going to put this as nicely as possible, disgusting human beings. Okay, so they prey on the intelligence and the creation of entrepreneurs, and they're just in it for the money, and they don't give a rat's patootie about any of us and any of the creative ideas and things that we come up with. So I'm not a big fan of venture capitalists, and I think they're scum. Is that good? Are we okay? So I want to be very, very clear about that. So I don't like them at all. I don't believe that true entrepreneurship occurs when you take on a bunch of funds and then have to answer to a bunch of people that are only cared about the bottom line. They're not cared about the service. They're not cared about the customers. They're not cared. As soon as the venture capitalist gets on board, customers are going to get kicked in the teeth pretty much every time. Okay, so that's just the way it is in the big, wonderful world that we live in. So I've always been fascinated by ClickFunnels because they've never taken on venture capital. They've always bootstrapped it. I believe in bootstrapping. I just think that there's so much to learn by wearing a lot of different hats and finding out how in the world can you find out what you want to do in your own business unless you dabble in every little thing. Now, is it the fastest way to grow and make a bunch of money? No. But if you're all just about the money, entrepreneurship's probably not for you anyway. If you're about the money, then go out and become an investment banker. I think that's probably the easiest way to money. A lot of money is just go become an investment banker. Right, so anybody who's going into school, just become an investment banker. You can make a lot of money that way and have a really unfulfilling and boring life. So knock yourselves out. Okay, so ClickFunnels has been fascinating to me, and why they're fascinating to me is for a lot of my careers, I've been interested in entrepreneurship, and I like the idea of helping people become entrepreneurs. There's a richness to life that occurs when you are trying to create something to help other people with your own smarts and your own wisdom and your own energy and passion and all of that. There's just so much to learn about yourself that entrepreneurship just provides so many opportunities to figure out who you are and who you want to be. And I really don't know of any other vocation that does that for you. I love the medical profession. There's just a lot of really good professions out there, but I don't know of any other profession that is quite as fulfilling as and learning a lot of different aspects to life that you wouldn't learn any other way if you're stuck in one narrow focus. Now, that still gives you the opportunity to really become specialized at some things, but you get to understand as you go through the process of entrepreneurship, what those things are and what you really love, right? And that's what you get to do. So I am obviously in the process of doing that now with a new venture that's coming up, and I'm so excited to talk about. We actually took on our first beta client today. We'll be onboarding and going with it. We've been using a lot of my stuff. I'm going to continue to hit this, aren't I? So stop. So I'm just really excited, and I'm going to try to quit talking with my hands. But I'm really excited about the things that we're working on and things that are coming up, and I've learned a lot about myself and a lot about what I'm interested in, a lot of what I'm not interested in. And that is the beauty of entrepreneurship. As I watched ClickFunnels, as I've watched them grow over the years, and I think that I've been a client, it's either 3 or 4 years now that I've watched them grow, and I've been very interested in how they've gone about changing over the years, how they've added different products here, how they've changed their focus there. They did a lot of webinars, and now you see a lot of online advertising. You can see how they're leveraging social media. And most recently, they had this big announcement. It was their 5th year birthday yesterday. And so they had a big announcement where they were going to make some changes. And Russell Brunson, who is their founder, I think he calls himself co-founder, but you obviously know if you're watching the company that he is it's hard to say brains because I know Todd, their programmer. Anytime you have programmers, they're super, super smart and they're helping out a ton. But the visionary, there you go. That's a better word. So Russell Brunson obviously is the visionary of ClickFunnels. He's a co-founder, but he's the visionary. He's the one that had all the experience in sales and kind of knew what type of technology and services and all that he wanted to provide. And he understood through the process of bootstrapping where the pain points were in entrepreneurship. I have always wanted to figure that out, but I haven't been smart enough to come up with a solution myself. So I've always dabbled in parts of entrepreneurship and trying to make it so it was easier. So solo SEO was a concept where we would help online businesses find free traffic and bring them to their sites. But what we couldn't do and what we didn't do very well is once all this traffic got to somebody's site, if the site was terrible, there was not a lot of sales going on. And so it didn't matter how much traffic they were bringing in. And we were really good at helping people drive traffic to their site. I mean, we helped millions and millions of people find, make top 10 rankings and up their traffic to just obscene amounts. But then they weren't converting. They were converting a little higher, but not much higher. Not enough to justify all this new traffic. Not enough to take advantage of all this traffic because their landing pages and their websites sucked. And they were not converting. And so we lost clients, even though we are doing exactly what we told them we would do. And we didn't know how best to go back and say, hey, this is what you need to do to your site to make it better. This is what you need to do to change everything. Well, ClickFunnels has figured that out. ClickFunnels has created a platform in where you can create a site and a landing page and have a series of steps through a value chain or a value ladder is what they call it to make these sales work. So ClickFunnels has been sort of the missing piece in my mind for the journey, for this online entrepreneurship journey. So I've been fascinated by what they do. And so yesterday they came out on their 5-year birthday, and a couple weeks ago, Russell started this thing off by basically announcing on his Facebook page, I believe he was in Fiji, I believe. Maybe it was on Instagram, but anyway, he released this video that said, hey, there's a huge announcement coming out. There's a lot of rumors about this, this, and this. He actually admitted on his podcast that those rumors, he just created those rumors himself, which is fascinating, right? So he created, and then the buzz started, and I saw it online. There was a lot of people, if you're in any sort of ClickFunnels groups, there was a lot of buzz as to what this is going to be. What is this? What's coming? What's going on? And there was a lot of speculation, and there was a lot of people freaking out, frankly, that there was going to be some really harsh stuff going on. And Russell kind of, alluded to that maybe there was going to be some hard decisions. Now, what the hard decisions were is they're going to sort of retire some of the software that they've built out. But the reasoning behind it is brilliant. And the reasoning behind it, as somebody who studies organizational management and geeks out by it, it's something that a lot of organizations do when they start to find success. When they see cash flow coming in and stuff's going on, they start looking around, and because they're entrepreneurs and they love to solve problems, they start looking around for other easy problems to solve that could maybe boost the revenue a little bit. And what ends up happening, and Russell admitted to this, and I thought that his honesty and transparency in his discussion was refreshing. You don't see many folks leading companies come out with this. That he basically said, look, we got carried away. We got distracted from our core functionality. We got distracted from what we do best. We got distracted from what made us a category king in sales funnels and really online conversion landing pages. And we started focusing on other things that other people do better than we do. And so rather than continue down this path and throw resources and assets at solutions that we may not ever be able to be a category king in, or we may not ever be able to really make, frankly, very good, we're just going to stop doing it. Okay, we're going to mothball it and we're going to move on. Again, so hard for a company that's growing to admit that. So hard for a young company. 5 years is not that long as far as a company life cycle goes. And so to do as well as they've done and start in the foibles of an online business that's doing well, or any business that's doing well, and to start looking around and trying to expand horizontally, they've decided, you know what, we're just going to be really good at this one thing and make sure that we're always solid here, and then we're going to partner or buy category kings in other categories. Brilliant. It's exactly what I think most companies come to that understanding down the road. I think ClickFunnels, because they are run so well and managed so properly, came to that realization much earlier on than most do. And again, I also think that is a function of bootstrapping. When it's your money that you're burning through, and it's not an investor's money, you seem to be a little more responsible. Another reason why I think that, venture capitalists are scum, but nobody deserves to lose their money. Maybe if there is people on earth that deserve to lose their money, maybe it is venture capitalists. So, but you see a management team who is running on venture capitalist money, not very responsible. They don't really care that much, right? And when they're answering to a bunch of stockholders, they don't really care that much. So all of you that own stock in Apple and whatever, they don't really care much about you. They could care less. It's really about some other things. Right? It's not about the investors, and don't let them tell you otherwise. Diversify, please. They don't care that much about you. Anyway, this announcement, the whole process then was brilliant. It was somewhat of a pressure launch where you build pressure and you build interest in the message that's coming, and then you go and you make your announcement, and they went through and did it. But something fascinating, something that was a little different, and actually Catherine Jones brought this out. She and I have probably different opinions on this, but they came out and said, okay, we are going to grandfather a lot of these services, but we're going to add in a lot of other cool stuff, and it's now going to be $697 a month instead of $297 a month. And I thought, oh boy, here it comes. And sure enough, all the nervous little Nellies, all the folks that are worried about paying $297 are now looking at $697 a month for the end-all be-all of sales funnels, and they freaked out. I mean, they were saying like, goodbye, I'm out of here, you're greedy. They went nuts. They just absolutely went nuts. And those of us that have watched ClickFunnels over the years and at least have somewhat of an understanding of who Russell is and who ClickFunnels, who they are as a company, just held on, right? We're just like, it's not the price. Okay, we know what he's doing, and he'll come up with some more value and stuff, and then we'll get the lower price. And Catherine's opinion was it was too early. My opinion was it was just right, and it was brilliant. And I'll tell you why I have a difference here. It's because ClickFunnels has a reputation. ClickFunnels already has a number of people that love them and support them, that pay them a lot of money to be a part of their tribe, and because the results are there. And so going and putting a price out there was brilliant in that it brought to the top all the folks that probably weren't big ClickFunnels people anyway, and it made them very easy to identify. Now, if they pull those people out and send them a different set of follow-up emails, I think it would be wise. I don't know if they're doing that or not. But it became very easy to see that these people weren't ready for everything that ClickFunnels has to offer. And if they left at that time, they thought it was $697. These are the people that probably should be approached and say, hey, you know what, it's actually $297. And they threw in all this extra stuff, even though we've grandfathered some stuff and we're just putting them into maintenance. You still have access to them, but we've got all this other great stuff that's for our higher end coaching programs and all that we've built in, and it's the same price. Right? It was really quite brilliant. So all of us that stuck with it, that understand ClickFunnels and understood what was coming, were not pleasantly surprised. We weren't surprised at all. I was a little surprised at the price. I thought it would go up $50 a month or something, but they kept it at $297. So, I mean, bravo, brilliant, delivering a lot more value. How they're going, this makes it so they have to change their value ladder. Right? Some of the higher end coaching programs now are going to have to change a little bit because a lot of what made the higher end coaching programs so valuable has now been offered to those that just kind of come in at the $297 level, which is, again, I think I understand from a solo SEO standpoint, the story that I shared earlier, we ran into problems with people purchasing our software and purchasing our services and started using it, and we delivered exactly what we told them we would. But when it wasn't converting, they just left. And we kind of got the blame. And it wasn't our fault. I think ClickFunnels is kind of in a similar place. They've got an end-all be-all platform, but if you don't know how to use it, and if you don't know how to implement and start an online business and kind of go, especially in the beginning, and they've offered like OFA challenge, the One Funnel Away challenge to kind of get people acclimated and into their world and then kind of lead them up the value ladder that way. That's a great way to do it, but I still don't think that the onboarding and the assistance that folks get from when they come into ClickFunnels to where they're actually successful it's not working as efficiently as they want it to. And I think bravo to them for noticing it. Again, something that you notice when you're not using venture capital money. If you're using venture capital money, you just really don't care about clients. You care about the bottom line, and you're answering to a bunch of folks that want to hang you if you lose their money, right? So again, I do believe that this very thoughtful approach to business is caused by bootstrapping. And another example of why bootstrapping is so important is that I think ClickFunnels has realized, look, we have a great product and it does exactly what we say it's going to do. But if we can educate them a little bit better on how to use it properly and have steps identified clearly, then they're going to do a much better job with it going forward. And that's going to be super important to their business going forward. The quicker somebody can get on the ClickFunnels platform and start making money, the better off the company's going to be and the faster it will grow. And ClickFunnels gets it. So I'm really excited about some of the steps they're doing and where they're going because they get it. They get it that we need to move faster when we enter the ClickFunnels world and start generating revenue. Because I think there's a lot of folks that come in with great big eyes into this thing thinking that it's the end-all be-all online business. It's going to save them a lot of time and headaches, and it does. But they probably have some unreal expectations on just how much time that's going to shave off the process. And if they can shorten that at all, then their business is going to grow exponentially. And they've definitely noticed that, and they're making the adjustments. And it's kind of it's going to be super fun to see where we go from here. But so that was the brilliant side of it. Please don't take venture capital money, bootstrap. You learn so much, and then you become a very efficient, wise company moving forward, which I think ClickFunnels is proving, thankfully. And it will be a fun ride going from here. So be willing to make these adjustments. ClickFunnels made some really important moves and adjustments. And when you care about your business and you care about your clients, that's what companies do. And when you take on venture capital and you don't care about your clients and you only care about the people that gave you money, that seems to suffer. So it was kind of cool to see it kind of play out this way. That's it for me. I got to get home and get some dinner and feed my family or be fed by my family, as the case may be. Until next time, Aaron Stewart saying entrepreneurs are absolutely the best thing that's happened to this earth in a very, very long time. We're solving problems nobody else can solve. We're doing things that nobody else is willing to take on the risk to do. Blessed be the entrepreneurs. Until next time, be good and do well.